At the very beginning of the Revolutionary War, the British attempted to reach Concord, Massachusetts, but were met by rebel forces at Lexington Green. Rebel leader John Parker's order at Lexington Green was reputed to have been, "Stand your ground. Don't fire unless fired upon. But if they mean to have a war, let it begin here." There is another conflict for the American soul going on right now. It is, in fact, a form of warfare not seen in America before now. It is strategy, tactics, and goals. It is being waged by the left. Familiarize yourself with this information and know what your enemy is up to. They have already identified and targeted you. While we Americans watched a human tragedy of epic proportions unfold in Texas after Hurricane Harvey made landfall, we also bore witness to that which is stellar and exceptional about Americans, our willingness to serve and help each other in tragic times. We saw the valor and heroism that has always been the foundation of Americanism. However, something else happened this weekend that revealed a crack in that foundation. Black-clad, masked domestic terrorists reminiscent of Hitler's brown shirts attacked other Americans, and that's not overstating the case. Just yesterday, a very dear, close friend asked me what's going on with the left in America. He asked me, specifically, about the transgender agenda. I had to stop and think for a moment before it struck me, we shouldn't focus on the singular actions and tactics of the left, but rather we need to understand their bigger strategy, their desired endgame. That's the difference between strategy and tactics, and why the study of great military philosophers such as Sun Tzu and Clausewitz is vital, and why more of us need to read, understand, and highlight the progressive socialist left's strategic playbook, Rules for Radicals. Strategically, the left has embarked on an endeavor to defeat absolute truth and redefine the United States of America. Its failed, progressive, socialist belief that the state, the government, is preeminent and the giver of all rights cannot be debated. I've said it previously and will say it again. Why is it that you don't hear leftist voices speaking out against Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela? Simple. Because all leftists are the same. They embrace coercion, intimidation and violence in order to achieve their goals, which cannot be attained otherwise. And so, here in America, the left has employed the radicals of Antifa, who are no different than Maduro's street thugs. But how do the tactics and policies that the left is promoting advance their endgame? Let's go back to the issue of transgenderism, or the mental condition of gender dysphoria. This isn't about a bathroom. It's about the negation of absolute truth. What the left wants us to believe and embrace is that there's no such thing as man or woman, male or female. That it's up to anyone to determine their own truth and what they feel they are. It ties into the philosophy of secular humanism in that it refutes the sovereignty of a creator, or a god, and goes with the left's entire identity agenda. Rachel Dolezal is a good example. You can identify with whatever you feel, as there's no absolute truth, and to believe otherwise is racist or whatever the denigrating moniker du jour may be. Marriage isn't an absolute truth between a man and a woman. It can be between anyone that the left determines. And since it's not a sacred relationship ordained by the God in order to promulgate society, family is whatever the left decides it should be. If you don't consent to this, you're castigated as a homophobe and coerced, intimidated and demonized. Or, in the words of Colorado multimillionaire and LGBT agenda financier Tim Gill, you're wicked and must be punished. The same applies to the left's true religion, climate change. God, you see, doesn't control nature and the weather. Nope, man does, and man must institute policies to control the weather. And again, if you don't conform to all of their delusional assertions, mostly rooted in wealth redistribution, you're disparaged as a Neanderthal, a climate change denier, a member of the Flat Earth Society and worse, as someone willing to. There is more here, keep reading,